you to make sure that the seniors and the understanding of aging, much like what we're doing today. I am live on the internet radio site, www.radio-next.tv, and now we are live or recording live because you can see this right at about 1 o'clock. Robin Shackleford, Happy New Year to you, my beautiful friend.
Happy New Year. Say we made it.
We made it. And I was just telling the audience before you came in, I am privileged that you and Spencer and Insure Care has allowed Radio Next.tv to provide this information because this isn't sexy information. It ain't about a lot of likes and shares, but there's been some people in this last 2.5 to 3 months that have benefited from the rich information you've been giving. So thank you on that.
Awesome. We love to hear that.
Well, we're going into the new year, and we know that we went from October 15th to December 7th for the annual enrollment period. And we were trying to forewarn the people before that coming January, there are some adjustments that you can make if you took care of the proper steps first. So we have now in January another acronym, OEP.
Mhm.
We've been getting some acronymed up in this last 2.5 months, but that is the open enrollment period. Please tell us what that is and what we need to know.
Sure. So the open enrollment period goes from January the 1st to March 31st. It gives seniors that are on Medicare Advantage, it gives them an opportunity to change their plans. So say you got into a plan and you thought your doctor was going to be covered, or you thought a certain prescription was going to be covered and it wasn't, or you didn't like their customer service. This is the opportunity and this is the time where you can change that plan. Now, keep in mind, this is not the time that you can enroll in a plan. So that's very different. You would have already had to have been in a plan and selected it during AEP or during the special enrollment time. So this is for the people that's already in a plan, but they want to make changes to their plan.
So that's why it's important, as we were trying to stress, between October the 15th and December 7th to make your decision, because there are some ways that you can alter if you enrolled and took advantage of that time slot.
Yes. And say you didn't get to sit down with somebody and you just let your plan roll over and you didn't realize that there was going to be changes. This gives you, yes, HP, because you never called me back. This gives you the opportunity now. You get 3 more months to sit down with someone and make those changes and make sure that you're in the best plan.
I was thinking, Robin, I need to probably in 2026 get me a companion, because women are much better at taking care of this kind of stuff than, knucklehead single men. I'm just going to be honest, but that's a conversation for another day.
You're right, though.
Women but it's the truth. Yeah. It's the truth. Yeah. And so
women go to their health appointments more. They make sure their spouse or their loved one goes. They track the medications, the refills. So receipts. They do all that. Receipts.
We're getting into some resolution stuff right now, and I'm trying to keep this OEP on top of the table. But so if you were already in a plan, then what should you do? What should you know when you go to an advisor or a broker? How should you prepare when you go to try to give your advisor the reasons why you need to make these changes and what might be best?
So the main thing is, one, you need to make sure you have your membership ID cards. You need to know what plan you're on. So that's very helpful because the carriers would have sent you out ID cards all of this month, and you should have gotten those by the 1st. If you have not gotten your ID cards, make sure you reach out either to the broker that you work with if you've lost your ID cards. So I've already had clients that have lost their new cards. So reach out to the person that you work with and we can order you new cards.
And I don't mean to interrupt, but people who have moved need to make sure the address changes have been updated, because I know I've got a lot of mail going to my old address.
Yes, make sure your address is updated. And then also remember that these plans are based on zip codes and addresses. So if you move within the next 3 months, you also need to make sure that you're still in the service area for your company, or if you need to be in a different plan. But if you're going to
Wow,
sit
wow.
down,
Let's hit on that because we had talked. This is going back, and I told you I'm a good student. And I remember, and I think our third or fourth, we were talking about the plans are designated by zip codes a lot of times. And see, these are things that now are resurfacing that we talked about earlier that make
Mhm.
sense now. And if you're not aware of that, you're just not aware of that. And you could be caught up in a bind if you move out of the area that serves, your need
Yeah,
or your
exactly.
provider.
And if you had changes like now you're on Medicaid, you weren't on Medicaid before, your Medicaid got approved. Now you have a chronic illness that you didn't have before. So these are all those qualifying changes that will you need to look at, and you may need to be in a different plan.
That is why they need to talk to you and Spencer and Insure Care Insurance Advisors because there's no way you can navigate this yourself, I don't think. Give me the dates again, Robin,
So
that you can enroll.
January 1st, so this is starting tomorrow. So January 1st to March 31st.
And
So
then
you get
after
3 months.
that, do they have another period throughout 2026 or is that it until the annual enrollment?
So the only way you will have another chance outside of these dates if you qualify for a special enrollment period. And those are some of those things that we just talked about. Say you got on or off of Medicaid. Say you got a chronic illness, because those eligibilities allow you to change your plan either monthly or quarterly. So those are some of those special enrollment periods, or say now you're going to be institutionalized in a long-term care facility. Those are some of those qualifiers. But outside of that, if you do not have some type of special circumstance, then the next time that you can make changes is in October.
Okay. Uh, Now, we've been talking and discussing everything that I need to know about Medicare for the last 3 months. But I'm sure, just like the annual enrollment period, with the open enrollment period, you're going to have some slick talking brokers calling to try to let you know that we can do something for you. Here's the question I have to ask. I believe in you and I trust you because you have explained some things and have backed it up. If somebody doesn't know who a good broker is, how do you know who a shoddy broker is if they call you trying to get you to change? What should you be listening for? Some antenna things that might come up. No, this person just trying to make a sale versus me being in a decent plan.
So one, if you have already sat down with a broker during AEP and you and that broker has already picked a plan for you, do not take any phone calls outside of that specific broker, because that broker already has your best interest at heart. They've already reviewed the plans. I've already had clients stolen from me from people that are calling from call centers, and the seniors will answer the phone. And I'm literally working on a case now where someone in a call center canceled my enrollment and actually put them back in the same plan,
Oh my
which
God.
is illegal. They should not be doing that. You cannot become now the new agent if you didn't change their plan. You should not be able to just to put them back in the same plan. So these people in these call centers, a lot of times they're not even in the US. They're in foreign countries. They don't know who you are personally. They're just looking at your information on their screen, and they may put you in plans that are not the best fit for you.
I'm glad
So,
you mentioned looking on that screen because they are preying on a lot of seniors, knowing by looking at their screen if this is a elderly female, no husband. I mean, they're preying on the people that they are calling, and sometimes the seniors are just happy to get a call, and it is scary how they are manipulating and do. I just had to throw that in.
and sometimes they may even say they're calling from the company that you're with. So say if you're enrolled in United Healthcare, then they may say they're calling from United Healthcare and just want to switch you plans or upgrade you plans. And that's just not true. So I would say be very careful to talking to people over the phone. I wouldn't do it. This is too important of a decision, and it's too important of a personal decision that needs to be made, that you really need to talk to someone in person or someone locally.
this is literally, it can be life or death, I mean, literally. Now, for the people who didn't talk to a broker before the annual enrollment period, what do you say to the people who might get phone calls, or should people who didn't plan their own thing and now it's the open enrollment period? What can a broker do to help and guide them?
So if you went ahead and you just picked something off online, or you talked to someone over the phone, or you let your existing plan roll over, this is the time for you to sit down and meet with a broker, and we can still review your information and make sure you're in the best plan. I've run into a lot of seniors where they say they just looked at information online and they tried to pick the best plan that they thought was the best plan. But these plans are so tricky. They are so complicated. It really takes a professional who has been looking at these plans in and out, and then who knows your situation, that we can find the best plans. Because when I sit down with seniors, I've seen them select plans based on maybe the food card that they were going to get, but not knowing it didn't cover a lot of their drugs, or not knowing one of their doctors wasn't covered and they were in an HMO, meaning you couldn't go to a doctor that was outside the network. So it's those kind of details that you need to look at, and a broker will sit down with you and look at all your providers, make sure all your providers are going to be covered some kind of way, and then make sure all your drugs are going to be covered, and find the best plan for you.
Madam Broker, as we come to a close on this last episode, you ever been to church and you sin during the week, and then the preacher starts preaching and it's like he's talking directly to you?
Yes.
Okay.
So you're going to service today.
That's how Jumbo feels today.
I'm sure everybody's going to watch night service today. It's going to be looked at.
I'm in the church already. You just don't know. But no, man, thank you again. And I will definitely be in touch with you soon. And thank you again for all the great information that you and InsureCare insurance advisors have been providing us throughout this last 2.5 months. And we're going to continue to give information to the community throughout the year. You'll let me know when it's time to get that information out. And tell Spencer Happy New Year.
Hey, Happy New Year to you and yours.
My brother, there he is. How are you, man?
I'm great. Thank you.
God bless, man. And again, thank you. And let's continue to get this information out there. And again, to my listening audience and the people who are listening to Radio Next, you can watch this interview at 1:00 today and gain some more information about that. Robin, Spencer, Happy New Year. Love you guys.
Happy New Year.
Year.
Stay healthy,
Absolutely.
everybody.
Yes.
You know it. Jumbo love.